Good afternoon, Arsenal fans. Neomis here. Thank you once again for tuning in. We got things to talk about now. Now that international break is over, we've seen Saka get a couple of assists and scored a nice goal. But now we got to get back to the Arsenal. Oh, no, it's going to be a real test. Going to be a real test. And depending on how you see it, it could be funny or it just could be nothing but pain. But I'm I'm hoping for optimism. Even though I think Arteta will struggle, I am still a fan, so I'm still going to be optimistic on how Arsenal will be. And we've got Norwich on Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. Somehow, some way, I'm going to find a stream to be able to watch that online. But hopefully, I'll be able to do it. But I thought, let's kind of look at the game. Let's look at a preview, predictions on what we all think it might be. Who might be starting, who might not. And I mean, first, I want to get started with the injuries. So, this this international break hasn't been great for us. We've picked up a lot of injuries to players. The one that everybody first of all would have heard about either this morning or right now would have to been Emil Smith Rowe. So he was scheduled to play for the England under 23s last night, and he had to pull out due to injury, which means that against Norwich he's not going to play, which is unfortunate. And you have to say that when looking at his situation, you might be thinking, oh, you know what, he's a bit fragile because, I mean, he does have a history of picking up lots of injuries. But when you start looking at the list of the amount of injuries that we've had and that are kind of coming back, so we got the likes of Mohamed El Nene. He's injured. He got injured on international break. And he's got some things coming on. I can't believe he turned down a move to Galatasaray because of money wise. I mean, like El Nene, like you've been making good money at Arsenal. Like, you know, don't be greedy. Take the offer and go. But he's chosen to stay at Arsenal, and like I guess he'll be leaving at the end of the season. But he's out injured, so Arsenal can't really use him overall. And then you got Sayad Kolasinac, who's another one who I thought would have been gone from Arsenal, and he is also injured. But normal people would have been like, we're not going to use him. It's okay for him to be injured. But this is Arteta, and you just don't know. Like, if you're playing him against, like, just in the, if you're playing him, period, clearly you must see some type of use for him with the squad, even though, like, I think he's good going forward and he's got that strength to be able to beat off a winger, but defensively, not good enough for me. See, he's injured. You got Gabriel coming back from an injury, said that he's open, but do you really want to rush Gabriel straight into a Premier League game? So he might not be able to play. You got Ben White, who's just coming back from COVID from a 10-day quarantine, as per Football.London. So he's available, but is he ready yet? Hopefully. I mean, this was almost 3 weeks ago now because of the international break. So you would have to say that hopefully he got over the 10-day quarantine, that he's been training, learning whatever tactics Arteta has in place, and hopefully that Brentford game would have been seen as a bit of a one-off with him, and we could kind of be able to use him. And that's kind of really it. There is Thomas Partey, and there is the one who shall not be named in Granit Xhaka, but Xhaka is not eligible, not just because he's got COVID, but due to the fact that he was sent off in the last game that Arsenal played. So he's always going to miss Norwich anyway. And then I do expect to see him back against Burnley. And hey, don't complain. It's all Arteta. I do think Arteta will find a way, shape or form, to get him back into the side. So then that leaves, who do you start? So I think Arteta's going to go back to the tried, tested, and a lot of times failed starting 11. And Tierney at left back, I think he's going to go with Holding and... Nah, I think he's going to go with Ben White and Mari in centre back. And I think that he will go with Cedric at right back. And, I mean, of course, Leno in goal. Like, even though Ramsdale, I think that did well against West Brom under 10s, I don't think that in the Premier League he's going to start over Leno whilst Leno continues to be in here. Good performance against West Brom under 9s, but it's just, yeah, like Leno's going to be our number one. In midfield, I think we're going to go with Thomas Partey and Sambi Lokonga in that midfield, which I like. I like them too in midfield. I think it might need a little bit more legs, but again, that's up to Arteta and how he really does things. And then up front, we're going to go with Aubameyang on wide left because it's Arteta. We're going to go with Odegaard at the 10 because, as I said before, Smith-Rowe is injured. And then on the right side, we're going to go with Pepe. And, yeah, Pepe, hopefully he will start to do the things that he was doing last season, which is not being so predictable on that right side. And then up front, I'm going to go with Lacazette up top. He will be the main striker as well. And I think Arteta will stick with that. I'd be incredibly surprised if he did change things or go at the 3 at the back, which is what people like me suggested. I know lots of different sources suggested this as well. I think was it Graham off AFTV when they do their tactical analysis. He also suggested it in like a 3-4-3. I suggested a 3-5-2 a few videos ago, so do check that out on my preview. I think it was the Chelsea preview, because I said that we should kind of match them up and outnumber them in midfield, which Chelsea play a 3-4-3, so having 5 men midfield kind of helps with that. Burnley, we've got to beat Burnley, surely. I mean, this is an Arteta that won an FA Cup, first season in charge as a coach manager. Surely he can beat Burnley. I mean Norwich. Like Norwich, apart from Arsenal, are the worst side in the league. And I mean, if I look at, let's look at the Premier League table. If I look at the Premier League table, we have, let's see, give me 1 sec. I'm probably going to go and edit this out because this is probably taking a lot longer. But look, Arsenal, I don't know if you could see this, Arsenal, bottom of the table with Norwich, and Wolves just above them. Wolves. But Arsenal have conceded 9 goals, the same as Norwich. And I think the only reason why Norwich are ahead of us is because they've scored a goal in open play and we haven't yet. So things are bad. That 3 p.m. kickoff, that is a bottom of the table clash. And I think the reason why we're at 3 o'clock is because of how we performed this season. Which is a shame. It's a shame. But Arsenal fans, like, whether you're Arteta in, Arteta out, I urge you, just support the team. One way or another, all of this will come to an end. Because if Arteta doesn't change things, be innovative, coach the players right, like now you don't have the excuse anymore that we're playing in Europe and the Europa League and all these supposed games, group stage games in the Europa League, which tend to be just complete and utter farces. I mean, games like that are like facing West Brom under 16s. And it's just ridiculous. But nevertheless, that's the game. I'm still going to stick with my prediction that I did on 101 Arsenal at the beginning of the season, in that I do think it's going to be an Arsenal win. I'm going for the 3 points, and I'm going with a 2-1 victory. One of those will be a penalty, because I don't trust this team to be able to make 2 goal-scoring opportunities from open play in one game. So I'm going to go with an Arsenal penalty, and I'm going to go with a goal from Aubameyang, probably to do with a Kieran Tierney assist, is how I think that game might go. And I like that. That at least we can start to get things going, and we just have to hope that, fingers crossed, that the damage isn't completely done with the Arteta regime and how the players feel, whereby they can use that game to start to kick on and to be able to get things going. Because the game after that is Burnley, and the game after that is Spurs, and Spurs are no mugs. I think that they're playing pretty well under Nuno, and when you hear some of the comments from the players or the inside stories, are that with Spurs, they don't particularly like the way in which he plays, but they enjoy the fact that they're winning. So I will say this. Let's get it in gear, Arsenal. Let's get the 3 points against Norwich. Let's get the 3 points against Burnley. Maybe pull out a draw against Spurs. And then maybe my prediction might be wrong in that in the first 10 games of Arsenal season that they'd only get 9 points. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that's closer to 13 or 15. But who really knows with Mikel Arteta in charge? I can't predict things anymore, but I will predict this one thing, that I believe Arsenal are good enough in order to beat Norwich. And I know that a lot of you Arsenal fans believe that we're good enough to beat Norwich. Leave your comments below. Do you think Arsenal are good enough to beat Norwich? And more importantly, do you think we will beat Norwich? Which I do think that we will. But I know it's a difficult one. But yeah, leave your comments below. Let's get a discussion going on this. The Premier League is back. International football is over. I'm glad that it's over. And we can get back to talking about some real football. And that is Arsenal. That is Arsenal football. Get back to hopefully some winning ways. So leave your comments below. Do remember to continue comment, liking and subscribing. And I'll see you all on my next video, which will be a link in the description below.